am so confused. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Of all the places, of all the countries, all the years of traveling, it's here, in Iran, that I'm greeted most warmly by total strangers.
Hello.
The other stuff, it's there. The Iran we've read about, heard about, seen in the news. But this I wasn't prepared for.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
Thank you. Merci. So, good to be here finally. It's taken some time. Oh, like a lot of time. Like 40 years I've been trying. Finally.
Tehran, city of nearly 8 million people, capital of Iran.
This neighborhood feels kind of like there are neighborhoods of Rome. This feels a lot like it.
After all this time, I finally had my chance to see a country I'd heard so much about.
The weather's nice too. I don't know what I was expecting, but it's nice.
A big blank spot on nearly every traveler's resume.
Merci. Delicious. Thank you.
Once upon a time, there was an ancient kingdom where they found a lot of magical black stuff under the ground. But 2 other kingdoms had the key to the magical black stuff. And when they wouldn't share, the people of the ancient kingdom got mad. They voted, and their leader said the magical black stuff is ours to keep. But the other kingdoms were afraid of losing all of the magical black stuff, so they gave money to some bad men to get rid of the leader. They put back in power another leader, and they gave him money too. To some, he was a good king, but to others, he could be very cruel. After many years, the people of the kingdom got mad, this time even madder. So they scared the king away forever. And then things started to get really messed up.
Okay, that's a simplistic and incomplete way to sum up the last 100-odd years of Iranian history. But the point is, there were a lot of issues and differing agendas leading up to the explosion of rage known as the Iranian hostage crisis. Look, we know what Iran the government does. George W. Bush famously called them part of the axis of evil. Their proxies in Iraq have done American soldiers real harm. There is no doubt of this. But I hope I can be forgiven for finding these undeniable truths hard to reconcile with how we're treated on the streets everywhere we go. So forget about the politics if you can for a moment. How about the food? The food here is amazing. Cello kebab, as close as you get to a national dish, and the king of kebabs. ground lamb with spices, a good place to start.
So what do you guys do for a living?
I export nuts.
I'm a curator of contemporary art.
Which is an exploding scene here.
Iranian country has 3 different culture. Western culture, Iranian, and Islamic culture.
It's really progressive. It has changed a lot during last decades.
Yeah.
So this is the actual menu.
Right.
I would recommend you to try this one, and this one, and this one.
Okay.
Why not?
Cello kebab wouldn't be complete without Persian rice. Fluffy, long-grained, and perfectly seasoned with saffron, the rice in this country is like nothing you've ever had.
So Tony, first you should take the butter and put it on your rice. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit. Good.
It's very good, yeah.
It was a hopeful time when I arrived in Iran. A window had opened. There had been a slight loosening of restrictions since the election of President Hassan Rouhani. And there was optimism for a deal that could lead to an easing of crippling economic sanctions imposed because of Iran's continued nuclear program. Trade restrictions that have been very, very difficult for everyone. But there's a push happening between opposing factions in the government. On one hand, Iranians are the descendants of ancient Persia, an empire of poetry, flowers, a highly influential culture that goes back thousands of years. But the ruling clerical and military class are at best ambivalent, at worst actively hostile to much of that tradition. Severe religious-based restrictions of speech, dress, behavior were ushered in by the rise of the Ayatollah during the 1979 Islamic Revolution.
یکی میگه دیره یکی دیگه خسته فاصله ها دوره راه همه بسته
So, how does one have fun in Iran these
یکی
days?
دیگه پلزه مثل رنگین کمون
This is a line that is constantly being tested. Alcohol is, of course, forbidden. You can get away with listening to rock or rap, sort of, sometimes. But you cannot yourself rock or be seen to visibly rock.
هر غریبه یه دوست تازه است زندگیم با دوستم خیلی ساز
Not everyone in Iran is delighted with what their country has become since the revolution. But even insinuating discontent can have consequences. Protesters, dissidents, journalists have been simply disappeared into the maw of the national security system.
What? It's some military place. Don't shoot, please.
Oh, don't shoot.
Yeah. Let us cross the...
We are in the northernmost spit of land in Tehran. Up here in Darband, the road stops and it gets really steep. Place for Iranians to escape the heat, escape the pollution, and have a kebab and a shisha, and just kind of unwind. as print journalists, our job's difficult, but it's also kind of easy because there's so much to write about. You know, the difficult part is convincing people on the other side of the world that what we're telling you we're seeing in front of our eyes is actually there. When you walk down the street, you see a different side of things. People are proud, the culture is vibrant, people have a lot to say.
Jason Rezaian is the Washington Post correspondent for Iran. Yeganeh, his wife, and a fellow journalist, works for the UAE-based newspaper, The National. Jason is Iranian-American. Yeganeh is a full Iranian citizen. This is their city, Tehran.
The official attitude towards fun in general seems to be ever-shifting. How is fun even a good idea?
A lot of push and pull, a lot of give and take. When I first started coming here, you wouldn't hear pop music in a restaurant or
It's everywhere
now it's
now.
everywhere.
We have police, they arrest girls or women for having bad hijab or not being covered enough. But it's not that we live with the police in our head, you know?
You know, one of the first things that people will say when you say, well, I'm going to Iran, oh yeah, but don't they make women do
Yeah.
this, and this?
Yeah.
Actually, not so much. Not as much as our
Friends.
friends.
Yeah.
Compare and contrast, women aren't allowed to drive in Saudi Arabia.
That's right. Or vote.
Or vote. You can drive, you can vote.
Yeah, of
Can
course.
you own a business?
Of course. My sister is an accountant. She has her own company. Girls are allowed to do almost everything, except we want to go and watch football, which is like
Can't go watch football.
We cannot.
Women's issues are often at the spear point of change or possible change here. On one hand, prevailing conservative attitudes demand certain things. On the other hand, Iranian women are famously assertive, opinionated. It's a striking difference from almost everywhere else in the region.
So why are we so friendly with the Saudis again?
It's a great question. It's a really good question.
I'm happy that you asked that question.
Do you like it? You happy here?
Look, I'm at a point now after 5 years where I miss certain things about home. I miss my buddies. I miss burritos. I miss having certain beverages with my buddies and burritos in certain types of establishments. But I love it. I love it, and I hate it, you know? But it's home. It's become home.
Are you optimistic about the future?
Yeah, especially if this nuclear deal finally happens. Yeah. Very much, actually.
Despite the hopeful nature of our conversation, 6 weeks after the filming of this episode, Jason and Yeganeh were mysteriously arrested and detained by the police. Sadly, in Iran, this sort of thing is not an isolated incident. What is okay to film in Iran and what is not? What's okay for the friendly, to us at least, Ministry of Guidance, might not be okay at all for the Basij, essentially roving young religious militias. Despite all permits and paperwork being in order, we're detained for several hours. This sort of harassment is a daily part of life for Iranians.
Please turn it off right now.
Well, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you. Hello, hi.
Sebastian.
Good to meet you. So, people have been ridiculously nice to us. Aren't you guys supposed to be the axis of evil?
You're absolutely right. We are demonized by the media outside. You show black and white. People are demonstrating and killing and bombing and this and that, and Syria and this and that. But you never talk about the real people who are actually living peacefully inside the country, because we eventually in the future of the world. We and Americans have a very special place in this Middle East. You cannot play a game without considering Iran as a friend.
One of Farouk's many passions is ancient Persia, culinary history in particular, and he's writing a book on the subject.
How do you pronounce the specialty here? Dizi?
What they serve is called Dizi, which actually is the name of the pot.
That's right. It's like an earthenware.
Earthenware. Yeah.
Right.
This is one of the early dishes of humankind. It goes back to Mesopotamia 6,000 years ago.
Potato, chickpeas, water, lamb, cooked together.
Add a little fat, mash it up with potatoes and chickpeas.
That's good. What do Iranians want to eat today? It's a home cooking culture. I mean,
Yes, we didn't have the culture of eating out. This is a culture of secret foods in the house. Things which are unheard of. It's not in the book.
That's really
A
interesting.
lot of secrets.
Have you ever tried traditional Iranian food?
it's difficult because everybody says the great food of Iran is cooked in people's homes.
Yes.
This is a land of secret recipes, passed down within families like treasured possessions.
Mr. Tony, please.
Beautiful spread of food.
She's my wife, and I'm a really lucky man. She's a very good cook.
Fesenjan, like so many other Iranians I've met, has been kind enough to invite me to his home.
Yes,
This is milk soup. Milk and chicken soup.
It's really good.
My mom said that Iranian people loves guests and they will never get tired if the guest likes their food. This call it Fesenjan.
A stew of fried chicken, onion, ground walnuts, pomegranate, and tomato paste.
And there's fruit, there's some kind of fruit.
Yes, there is the dry apricot inside this as well.
Delicious. So good.
Needed around 24 hours time.
These are very sophisticated, very time-consuming dishes to prepare. Always from scratch, and always in excess of what you could possibly need. You tend to kill your guests with kindness around here.
Tila pila. That dish is from the south of Iran.
From the Persian Gulf?
Persian Gulf.
Yes. And this one is from north. We
Halwa.
call it mahiye halwa.
Maybe if I could try some,
This one?
yes, thank you.
Of course. And that one is qeimeh. We made it with beans, meat.
So good. Fantastic food.
Man and wife, both of them working, you know.
So
They-
it's hard to do something like
Yes.
this. That's what I've been waiting. That's the crispy rice at the bottom, right there. The
Yeah.
what's it called? Tahdig. Is that?
Tahdig.
Tahdig.
Exactly.
Oh, lovely. Merci.
My mom and my mother-in-law, they think if they have a guest, they have to at least 2 or 3 kind of foods.
Right.
And if they make just one, they think that it is not very polite for a guest. But nowadays, for example, for my generation, when I have a guest, I will just make one food, one appetizer, and one dessert.
You know why?
And
You know why?
because it's much easier. Yes.
Times have changed. Pre-1979 Tehran was party central. But with Iran's 1979 revolution, 2,500 years of monarchy was over. The supreme leader, Ayatollah Khomeini's word became, more or less, law. Today, hundreds of thousands of Iranians are bused to his enormous shrine from all over the country. A national holiday, Khomeini died on this day in 1989. His funeral attended by over 10 million Iranians.
ignorance! Viva wisdom!
All of Iranians need in American and all of the world for friendship. Thanks.
Don't want to miss the bus.
South of Tehran, the landscape opens up. Nearly 300 miles of Iranian highway stretching to the city of Esfahan. Esfahan is Iran's third largest city. Half the world, as the saying went back when this was the capital of Persia and beyond. The city is renowned for its architecture, the grandest bridges and mosques dating back to the Middle Ages.
USA? From America? Where are you from? From Esfahan? Or from Tehran?
Tehran.
Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yes, hello.
Welcome to Iran.
Thank you.
Welcome to Islam.
Thank you so much. It's very beautiful. I'm guessing from the decor, this is a former wrestler's hangout?
Tucked deep in the labyrinth of Esfahan's bazaar, the smell of something very, very good. This shop has been here doing the same thing for 100 years. And based on the line, it must be doing it right.
I've had biryani in India. I've had it in Uzbekistan. But there's no question who invented biryani.
No, no way.
Biryani. Maybe you know the word, though this doesn't look like any biryani I've ever had. Minced lamb shoulder, onion, turmeric, cinnamon, mint, and of course, saffron, more valuable than gold by weight.
This is delicious.
Really good.
Isfahan today, one of the most visited areas by tourists.
Yeah, everybody, you know, if you come to Iran and you don't visit Esfahan, you are wasting your time.
The Royal Mosque sits astride Imam Square, the second largest square in the world behind Tiananmen in China. At dusk, families come to the square to cool off, picnic, have, yes, it looks like even a little bit of fun. morning prayer in Esfahan.
میرم تا درگاه خدای مهربون میرم میگم عاشقم خدایا میگن در جان ما این عشق سوزان را رها کن از رنج و غم خدایا.
Across town, the Kaju Bridge, where men gather spontaneously to sing.
دارم دلی پر آرزو بیا بیا که دل شکسته ام رو دشت غم نشسته ام یه دل میگه برم.
Is this okay? This impromptu giving oneself over to the creative urge to stand and sing out to no one in particular? Maybe, but not okay, apparently, to film.
We gotta go. Yep, we gotta go.
The road back to Tehran. Along the way, reminders of just how far back this culture goes. The ruins of ancient caravanserais, highway rest stops from when armies, merchants, traders, traveling by camel, by foot, all passed along these same routes. This, right here, a stop on what was once the Silk Road, extending all the way to China. In this part of the world, whatever your background, bread is a vital, essential, fundamental, and deeply respected staple. And mornings at Tehran, countless bakeries like this one turn out as much as they can.
Oh man, it smells good in here.
We have to stay in line.
No problem.
Standing on line is a daily part of life for many Iranians.
They bake these things on small stones. It gives it that texture.
This is why it's called sangyak. Sang means stone, pebble.
In the years since the 1979 revolution, Iranians have weathered wars, food shortages, and crippling trade sanctions that have caused the economy to sputter.
So I'm gonna make you a small table.
All right.
Babak is kind enough to take me for breakfast.
This is called halim.
Awesome. And it's made from bulgur wheat?
Yes. And you know what is inside except wheat? It is meat. It is turkey. This is a mixture of sugar and cinnamon.
Oh, that's good.
You like?
Yeah. And this bread is amazing. So you were how old when the war with Iraq started?
I was exactly 7.
Iraq attacked, and it was a surprise attack.
Iran's 8-year-long war with Saddam Hussein's Iraq is deeply, deeply felt. Hundreds of thousands of Iranians, many of them children, died fighting in that conflict.
Were you afraid?
We were afraid. My brother was in the France for 3 years out of 8. And it was not only my brother, many young people like him. 8 years of war, you know, with a country that is supported by many big powers.
And it is worth mentioning, whatever you think, wherever we are now, that Saddam, supported by the US government and with our full knowledge, used sarin and mustard gas on hundreds of thousands of Iranians. Less known in America, known and felt by everyone in Iran.
And it was a mistake of the United States at that time. They made a bad memory for Iranians.
But it's still, people are indeed really, really nice here. I mean,
Because people here don't hate Americans. You helped a coup, and then a revolution, everything, and then we captured your embassy, and okay, it's finished. We didn't kill each other. We didn't have a real fight. So it can be some political misunderstanding, which is resolved, which will be resolved. Maybe, I hope.
inshallah.
Inshallah.
So far, Iran does not look, does not feel the way I'd expected. Neither east nor west, but always somewhere in the middle.
Well, it looks spectacular.
You can't have this in a restaurant. It's time-consuming, it's very expensive, so you have to, Persian cuisine has to be experienced in somebody's home.
Oh, thank you.
So this one here is called bozgorme.
It's slow-cooked lamb in yogurt, is that right?
In yogurt and saffron and egg yolks.
Nazila, prominent art gallery owner, insisted I come over for lunch with her friends and family.
And here we have the sour cherry rice, little meatballs and chicken.
Sour cherries. More than any other nation, I think we love sour.
Yeah.
Rahim, the cook, has been with the family for generations. Rice mixed with yogurt and saffron, baked into a crispy dome. Don't think of rice as a side dish around here. It can be the main event.
Okay, very, very good. You put far more on the table than anyone could conceivably eat. Is that?
Yeah. If you don't like your guest, you don't put anything.
And here we have kufte, which is a large, very big meatball.
Kufte Tabrizi, ground beef, onion, and cooked rice. Walnuts, dried apricots, boiled egg, and barberries.
Anyways, we are a very interesting nation.
Indeed, and very, very confusing.
Extremely confusing, yes.
For me, the contradictions are just enormous.
Iranians, we take you to our house and we take you to our hearts and all of that. And in that way, we are extreme. You know, we are extremists in so many ways.
So good. Okay. You see this tortured relationship between America and Iran for many years. How do you think most Americans will react when they see this?
Start coming.
It is very important for us as Iranians to get through, to make sure that we are seen as humans here, not the so-called enemy or the darkness of Iran. You know, like you go to anybody's house in Iran, and I'm sure they will welcome you.
The excess of evil, we're not the excess of evil. No, just normal evil, like everybody else.
10 years ago, Iran was, people, they had hope for future, young people. They wanted to travel, they had a little bit money, but because of sanction, this sanction really squeezed everybody. 8 years, no foreign investment here, and so it was very difficult time. I mean, the population is really young, 70% are under 35. And the thing is, they deserve much more than what they have now. They want to have good job, they want to, you know, have families, but it's not possible now for them.
I hope we can have more faith in the ordinary Americans, because every little change in the policy of the Western country, it really, really affects our lives here.
The Malad Tower, Iran's tallest building and a symbol of national pride. It rises 1,000 feet in the air and looks out at all Tehran and beyond. We were out on the observation deck, taking it all in, trying to make some sense of it all. Our time in Iran was coming to an end, and it was impossible to say, was a window opening Or was it only a moment in time before it shut again? You learn pretty quickly that in Iran, there is plenty of gray area, an undefined territory. Where is the line? It seems to change with barely a moment's notice.
Okay, here it comes.
Now, it's dangerous.
This is the first time that we have experienced such thing.
Stay away from the glass.
Please find this way. Please follow me. This way.
Okay.
Please stop filming.
Last day in Iran. Night falls, and the kids, like kids anywhere, get in their rides and head for somewhere they could hang out.
Amazing
Just
display of
American cars.
American classics here. Where do you get them?
Old people's, yeah.
Old guys, right. And then fix them up?
Yeah.
Mustang?
Camaro, yeah.
Firebird?
Pontiac.
That's a perfect LA car right there. Is this a car club or is this just people just come?
We hang out this way with our friends.
Awesome, all right. Well, I called out for a little delivery.
One last thing everyone's been telling me I have to try. Iranian takeout pizza.
It comes with ketchup.
What do you think about Iranian pizza?
Not bad.
Not bad.
We don't put ketchup on pizza, though.
I love ketchup.
Beer. I spent my youth pretty much doing this, hanging in a parking lot. Let's assume the worst. Let's assume that you cannot see any way to reconcile what you think of Iran with your own personal beliefs, that you just generally don't approve.
Yeah.
I think those are exactly the sort of places you should go.
Totally.
See who we're talking about and where we're talking about here. And
I think it's almost un-American not to go to those places, you know?
I don't know that I can put it in any kind of perspective. I feel, deeply conflicted, deeply confusing, exhilarating, heartbreaking, beautiful place.
Yeah, exactly.
American cars are crazy.
The American cars are crazy and they're fun.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you this, the Iran I've seen on TV and read about in the papers, it's a much bigger picture. Let's put it this way. It's complicated.
After 10 weeks, Yeganeh was finally released. But as I read these lines, Jason remains a prisoner. His future, the reasons for their arrest, are still unknown.
1, 2, 3.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you,
We'll
too.
see.
Thank you, too. Thank you, too. I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
I drink up me rum and me tumble down. Me no want no gal come tingle me.
Nearly a year on the road, all those miles, all those airports, infinite variety of awful plumbing. It was time for something low impact. So off to Jamaica.
Iron bara, me no want no gal come tingle me.
This is the first time I've ever driven a car on a wrong side of the road. I mean, knowingly. How hard could it be? Oh, I get the pass on the right, too. Woo-hoo-hoo. Thankfully, we have a roll bar.
But this time, a different angle. You probably know of Jamaica as a vacation paradise. But it's worth mentioning this is a divided country and has been in one form or another since the days of slavery. There's a small minority who control most everything, and then there's the poorer, generally darker-skinned majority, less connected, left out. Jamaican cuisine, a lot of it, still reflects this conflicted history. Breadfruit, saltfish, this was slave food, cheap, long-lasting, filling, introduced basically as feed.
Iron bar, and me no want no gal come a finger it.
Day one, first order of business, get my, some jerk chicken. Can you blame me? No, I think not. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I know this routine. Believe me. It's brown, it's murky, and it burns, Mommy. It burns.
And there are still all these years later, 2 Jamaicas. There's the Jamaica that most Jamaicans live in, cook in, struggle to survive in. The real Jamaica. Then there's the Jamaica which you're probably more familiar with. But tourists have been coming to Jamaica for a long time, when this part of the island, particularly Port Antonio, threatened to become an international jet-set destination. Local legend has it that Errol Flynn was shipwrecked here on his yacht in 1947 and promptly fell in love with the place. Before Flynn, it had been an empire of bananas, a huge industry that later became United Fruit. Bananas went out, tourists came in. The banana business eventually went elsewhere, and when tourism shifted to the other side of the island with the construction of an airport at Montego Bay, well, that was pretty much it. The northeast coast was largely forgotten. It has the feel, still, of a forgotten paradise. There are those who believe that the area can come back, that it must come back, that the future is in hotels and resorts and restaurants for wealthy visitors, as it once was. Take this place, for instance. The Trident Hotel. Expensive, luxurious. Best of all, I'm the only guest. Oh, did I mention it comes with a castle? What kind of person would own a building like that? Who? Why? Then this man arrived and kind of answered that question. All of this belongs to Michael Lee Chin, local boy turned billionaire, one of the richest men in the world, and my host. He's invited me for dinner.
That's some rum before we do some crabbing, yeah?
Right, yeah, that sounds like a plan. But first, we need crabs for that dinner, I'm told. Caught in the traditional style. A drink is in order.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Respect. Crabbing.
Crabbing.
Respect.
A lot of crab holes. This time of year, Port Antonio is literally crawling with crabs, I'm told. It'll be really easy. Just scoop up the little bastards and then it's back to the pool.
You haven't seen any, right?
Now I'm looking. I'll lunge at them.
It's hot. I think it's that rum, you know.
Really thick in the bush, you know?
It's sweltering, freaking hot, and dark.
You find something?
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
But it doesn't seem to bother the hotel chefs who willingly risk dismemberment for the sake of procuring a tasty dinner.
We want him alive. We have questions to ask him. Where are your friends?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
One crab down, 49 left to go.
With the help of Tony, we're gonna get some more tonight, so.
I'm frankly anxious to get this over with, so when the opportunity arises to stick my paw down into a hole where there's probably a pissed-off crab looking to clamp down on my pinky with his pincers, I could care less.
Nothing. No, nobody home.
Oh, Hans. Ah, damn it. I think I stepped in the huntness.
Are those fire ants? Wonderful. Please attack my nutsack. Anything to get this over with quicker.
Ah, he's running. Hey, man.
Okay, I don't want to kill the little guy.
That's it right there. Right and left, right and left. Whoa.
Yeah.
Expert.
Nice one.
Next. What seems like several sweltering hours later, it's mission accomplished. And it's back to home base and time to get ready for dinner at the castle, followed by a party, I'm told.
Do you recognize these, Tony?
I put this guy in a bag tonight.
I'm joined by billionaire Michael, his partner John Baker, music producer and hotelier, John's wife Nordia, Errol Flynn's grandson Luke Flynn, and his wife Sky.
You grew up in this
Yes.
in this area. What was Port Antonio like in the 50s?
Port Antonio was, it was vibrant, banana, lots of wealthy tourists. So Port Antonio was a happening place.
You're a man with a diverse financial interests. Banks, communications. As a veteran of 30 years in the hospitality business, why? Why would you do such a hard and probably unprofitable thing? I mean, usually unprofitable.
You're being very kind.
It's a really business, generally speaking.
Well, I thought you're smart and that you're brilliant, but your behavior shows that you're dumb.
No, I know the answer. Are you a romantic?
Great things will happen when you romanticize, you dream, you aspire, you see a vision, and you set out to achieve that vision. Trident is here to catalyze people to come to Port Antonio and discover wow, wow, and wow again.
Where does it cross over? Where all of the things you love about this area, where all of the villas are spanking new, and people are building 400-room hotels, is there a threshold where things start to not be the things that you loved about the place in the first place, and how do you guard against that?
You know, Tony, Port Antonio is a long way from getting there. It has not progressed out of the 50s.
It's had very little tourism in recent years.
Why isn't there lots of... Everybody loves reggae. Everybody loves Bob Marley. Everybody loves spicy, delicious Jamaican food. What's the problem?
Because you don't get off a plane and go 100 yards to an all-inclusive. There's no rule lift here. You have to get here.
It's that simple?
It's as simple as a lift, and it's as simple as we're shrouded by the Blue Mountains, and it's an effort to get here. So it filters out certain forms of travelers. So we have to make it a little bit easier to get people.
You get beat out by a lot of lame islands, let's face it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. And even in Jamaica, lamer areas. For me, I say if someone says, oh, I've been to Jamaica, and they haven't been to Port Antonio, I'm like, well, really, you didn't get a real feeling of Jamaica.
You can't go many places in the world and find natural beauty. People who are genuinely warm, where there's a strong culture of food, strong culture in terms of music, and at the same time, be able to be a part of a community, and you can be a visitor without being a part of the tourist industry.
During World War II, British naval intelligence officer Ian Fleming came to Jamaica on a secret mission to investigate possible U-boat activity. Like the legendary character he would later create, he was a spy. The mission came to nothing, but Fleming fell immediately in love with the island and vowed to return, which he did, buying this place, GoldenEye. At the time considered very Spartan, a cottage, a single room really, a few smaller rooms in the back, but an incredible view. He spent much of the rest of his life here writing a book each year at this desk. You know those books. Today, Fleming's cottage has been enlarged and made more luxurious as a hotel, but the original house still stands, along with some improvements. Grotto, eh?
What did every young American boy want? Every red-blooded American male born in 1956. I can tell you, they wanted a grotto. It sounded pretty good to me at 12. As I got older, I started to think about these things, like exactly who was in that grotto before me becomes more of a concern as you grow up. It's like, did Ron Jeremy just leave the grotto? Am I the first one in the grotto? Has someone changed the water in the grotto? These were concerns later in life, but this was it. I wanted a grotto. I still kind of do. Thank you so much. This is totally better than the Playboy Mansion. You know that the Playboy Mansion totally smells like old man ear stink.
The current owner of GoldenEye is another unusual man, Chris Blackwell, legendary music producer turned hotelier. Over the years, Blackwell has expanded the property into a resort, its gates reaching right up to the fishing beach at neighboring Orcabessa. Blackwell has big plans for the area. The next day, I leave GoldenEye's luxurious embrace, headed into town for something, well, I just had to have. A long-time favorite.
What do we have here? Oh, oxtail.
Yeah, man, curry goat.
Oh, sweet.
I don't care whether it's the Bronx or Kingston or wherever I can get it. Oxtail, curried goat, callaloo, and of course, rice and pigeon peas. Got to have that.
Man, I love the food in this country.
Man, it's the best.
It's such a mix.
Asian,
African. A lot of people totally miss out. I mean, curry goat, that's,
yeah, man. It's Asian
that comes
stuff.
from the East Indies, what they used to call it.
That's true.
Chef Chris's cook shop has become something of a local institution, a thriving business in a town that's seen better days.
How long have you been open here?
I've been opening this little shop for 13 years.
13 years?
Yeah, man.
The town changed in that time or stayed the same?
Well, right now, you know, our economy is not doing so good right now, so.
Why not? It's one of the most beautiful areas in the world.
Yeah, for real. We have a beautiful waterfront.
Beautiful weather.
Yeah, beautiful
fantastic
ladies.
food.
Yeah, what more could I ask for?
What do you think went wrong? I mean, why would people stop coming?
I guess the guys in the top seat messed it up, so they're trying to correct it now, you know?
It's expanding fast.
Yeah, it is.
The town.
It
and
is.
They're going to be building all the way.
Yeah, all the way down there.
All the way around.
Yeah, so.
So that's thousands of tourists.
Yeah, thousands
right,
of
probably.
tourists. To be honest, I'm waiting for that moment. I don't want to think. We really need that, you know, because this town was dying fast and real fast. So Chris Blackwell came back and now he's booming the town. So it's a good step in the right direction.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah. See, now I'm happy. That is just beautiful. Nice place to grow up?
It is.
What's it like being a kid?
My childhood days, I used to spend it at the beach.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Who gets to do that?
Well, I guess only me and my friends.
But I mean, do you ever take it for granted? Like, do you ever get?
Yeah, we do.
We do.
We do. See, the thing about it, when we really need it, that's the time we can't have it, you know? Because a lot of our waterfronts have been gone, you know? We have very little right now. You know, it's okay. We have James Bond Beach like 10 minutes walk from here also, so at least we're one of the luckier ones.
It's inevitable, of course, that next door to GoldenEye, there would be a James Bond beach.
All of the Bond movies were conceptualized and written here.
When Blackwell heard I wanted to visit the local fishermen, he hooked me up with his good friend Carl to accompany me. I'm here to hit Dr. Ho's, a local rum bar where one can indulge in a typical hard-working fisherman's breakfast. Rum. So we drinking rum here, we drinking beer, we drinking rum and beer.
Well, I know. It's hardcore.
But you're recommending just like some beer and some rum together?
No, the steel bottom now.
Steel bottom.
All right. Steel bottom now, right? We're going to do 1 part of rum.
Yep.
Right, and 4 parts of beer. No water, no ice. Try that. It's a steel bottom, meaning it's non...
It's good.
Yeah.
It'll work.
And you could take it to your dimension.
So who fishes here? You fish?
Yeah.
What are you fishing for?
Hold on, let me get. It's multiple fishing.
Right.
Which will be your snapper, your parrot, your grunt.
Exactly. Right. So is business better these days or worse these days?
Okay.
Worse. Right.
So overfishing is a problem.
Orcabessa is a fishing village, for now at least. All throughout the Caribbean, fish stocks are in decline, and making a living from the sea is getting harder and harder.
So right here, it's actually become a fishing sanctuary. We're trying to now revive the fish stock around the island.
So if this becomes a protected sanctuary, what are you going to do for a living?
Yeah, so they have to go further out to sea for deep sea fishing.
That means more gas?
More gas, more economic condition, less fish. So it's a strain, right?
Is there a future for the traditional fishing industry in Jamaica, or do you think, like every place else in the Caribbean, is it going to end up an entirely tourist economy?
It's going to belong to the tourists.
This
place here, because I can tell you something. I live just off the road, lovely spot, which is on the coast, just like Chris Blackwell, and they're going to tell me that I cannot fish in there.
But what is happening now?
Here's what I'm kind of getting at. Rich people want to live what they see as a simple life. In their minds, they want to live the life of a Jamaican fisherman. So they want to live the life of somebody who doesn't have a lot of money. But the people who actually do that now are giving up their living and essentially entering the tourist sector. There's a certain amount of weird irony at work here. Who gets to live in paradise?
Nobody. Because guess what?
You got a point. And I'd like to clear up the point what you have, right? There's a lot of things going on here, right? I read a piece of paper a couple months ago that's going on down here, right? The native here don't have no beach in a few months' time.
This architect's model sits in one of GoldenEye's offices, showing what Orcabessa's coastline will look like if all goes according to plan.
They're gonna have an ID to come inside here.
We don't care about truth, man. We kill people with truth.
No, I'm telling the truth.
I'm no expert on local politics, but whatever is going on here has clearly stirred up some strong emotions.
See the street here? That street is school kids. I have to go to school. They also want to own that. Yeah, man, that's true. That's true. It's true.
Hold on.
Wait a minute. I'm talking.
Hold on.
I'm a native. Wait a minute, Chris.
Just stop talk.
Hold on.
Mr. Stop bomb clock talk, my brethren. Mr. Stop talk, my brethren. I don't want to hear no more of that. That's cool, man. That's cool, man. Just stop talk. Stop talk.
We gotta talk real.
Oi, big man, stop talk. Why? Come here.
Come on, I interview.
Yeah.
Go back.
Don't do that.
No,
Go sit down. to all the program work. You see me? We just kick back and cool. See me? We can't expose ourselves. See me?
Which is better? To be your own man, uphold family tradition in a dangerous, ever-shrinking, ever more difficult business, trying to catch fish in the sea, or carry a golf bag for a wealthy tourist? I couldn't tell you. I was in the service industry cooking people's food for most of my working life, so it's not like I have anything against it. But I don't know.
It's a joyous day. Let us find the spirit in man and travel to the unknown. I think because we are here in the present, that it had just started. This is coming way out of the unknown, out of the nothingness. And we are going to go on into the information area, into the celestial. We are what it called astral travelers. So we travel from dimension to dimension. If one man die, all man dead. And if one man live, all man live. Tolerance. One dog, one fowl, one cow, one puss, one moon, one sun. It has to be multi-purpose in order to sustain energy and life. Say a black, blue, green, pink, yellow, river, sea, mountain, bird, dog, puss, man. Everything is from the non-such. Everything is related. The car, the money, everything is connected to the universe. So if we as a human person does not realize how vulnerable we are within the changes of time, and the earth will not disappear, my brethren. It's I and I.
Who gets to live in paradise? It's Jamaica. Let's accept as a basic premise that this is about as close to paradise as it gets, right? This place I'm staying was built by a guy who lived here 2 months out of the year. That place down there, probably the same, 2 months a year. Sad to say, I think it's unlikely that 50 years from now, anyone but the extraordinarily fortunate, the extraordinarily connected, and the extraordinarily rich will be able to even look at a vista like this. That is my personal theory. Look, here I am, fully aware of the irony of this situation. It's like the whole preservation thing. Who preserve for who? Save the reef, for who? Save the beach, for whom? Not you, probably. Later that evening, Blackwell invited me to his private bar, just down the cliff from Fleming's old villa. There are very few pieces of land anywhere on Earth like this, especially with this kind of legendary status.
Legendary status, yes. It's Fleming, was really Bond's birthplace.
Chris Blackwell is the founder of Island Records. He's credited with discovering Bob Marley and spreading the gospel of reggae into the mainstream all across the world. To the extent that one person can sort of be responsible for the soundtrack of your life, you are responsible for much of the soundtrack of my life. You signed Roxy Music and Brian Eno, both, yes?
Yes.
Did you have any idea, signing Bob Marley, the extent to which his image alone would blow up to you know, Che Guevara level?
Bob somehow managed to touch people in every corner of the world, in different cultures, different societies. No, I never could have imagined. I don't think anybody could have imagined. It's so unbelievable.
Having sold Island Records for a sum rumored to be in the hundreds of millions of dollars, Blackwell spends his time, well, doing whatever he wants.
You have a number of hotel properties, rum business. What's the master plan? Or are you just having fun?
Well, always is to have fun. That's part of the master plan. You only live around here one time, so I'm very excited about here, what I'm doing here. I'm trying to break a little resort town. It's something that filters into the town, filters into the parish, filters into the country.
Lately, the project at hand is the Oracabessa Fish Sanctuary, set up to protect the local fish habitat and breeding grounds. A noble cause, but one that has put Blackwell squarely at odds with some of his neighbors.
It seems to me that most people who come to Jamaica pretty much stay within the compound, sandals or whatever, and don't really get out there much.
It's a business model, and that business model works well for people. The market that I'm going for are the ones on the high level, in terms of a high cost level.
Is it an inevitability that basically all of the Caribbean, that it's essentially going to end up as a service economy?
Yes, I think mainly so. And then it's based on tourism. It's based on people visiting.
It's a tough balance. The engine that's going to preserve or save is often dependent on who's coming to look and what they're willing to pay to come and look. Can there be a balance, do you think? I mean, can a place this beautiful be unspoiled forever?
I think there could be a couple hundred places like this in Jamaica. As long as there are people who can go and spend some money in communities, go to a little restaurant, go to a little bar, go to, shop. That's essential for Jamaica to really thrive.
If life were a Bond film, who would you be in a Bond film?
Well, there's only one hero in a Bond film. That's
Oh, you'd be the hero?
I'd have to figure that out, yes.
I don't know whether I'd be the villain. I'd be like number 17.
He has an unhappy end, though.
Yes.
And his end is
frequently.
quite short, yeah.
What we're all looking for, isn't it? The perfect beach. Remote, uncluttered by douchery, cold local beer. The perfect end to a long and, well, bumpy road. Winnifred's beach is that beach. Mostly locals, a few clued-in visitors, white sand, clear, warm water. And of course, local food.
This is ackee, Jamaica favorite dish. Typically Jamaica, we use it as a breakfast.
Cynthia and Dennis run this place and come highly recommended. I'm told this is the spot for the classic, gotta have it or you ain't really been to Jamaica, ackee and saltfish. Salt cod, rehydrated and cooked with ackee, a local fruit that happens to be toxic if you don't handle it right.
Now they say best ackee and saltfish
In Jamaica.
anywhere.
And yeah, also some banana.
Delicious.
That is delicious.
Yeah.
Cynthia's friends Joy and Marjorie also have little restaurants or food stalls on the beach, and they tell me that here too it's in danger of redevelopment, that all this might disappear into the ever-churning wheel of, well,
Winnifred Beach is a public beach. It has been one of the best beaches in Jamaica. The beach was left to give the poor people of Jamaica.
So the government takes it over supposedly to make it a public space, but they want to sell it to a hotel group?
Yeah, they want to make like a resort.
There are a lot of islands in the Caribbean where you're not allowed to own a beach, meaning all beaches are public. Even if it's a really exclusive hotel, at least theoretically, anybody can go.
Right.
Here it's different. Here, if you can buy a house and the beach, you can. If you're a hotel, you can make it a private beach, meaning they don't let the locals on or vendors or anything. They can keep people out.
Right.
So how many public access beaches are there in this area? Just one.
This one.
And that's it.
No more.
No
more beach.
We have other beaches around, you know. We have like Blue Lagoon, which is a private beach. Dragon Bay, private. And Sansan is private. So this is the only public one, you know?
Yeah, what happens if, I mean, that would be sort of ridiculous if Jamaicans can't go to the beach in Jamaica.
Exactly.
There are two sides to every story, of course, and the government, for its part, claims locals will still have access to their beach.
We don't trust them, so we do not believe what they said.
They want to get us off, and like 6, 7 years, they don't do anything on it and close it off.
Right. What kind of monstrous human being or organization would displace the people from their own beach?
From our freedom. If they take this away from us, we would like we are in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when the time is hot, we would have nowhere to come and swim.
So we, the people, we are in court with the government because we do not want them to take away the one and only beach that we have in Jamaica, Portland.
What do you think your chances are? You think your chances are good?
Yes.
You're going to win?
Yes. I've been fighting over 7 years.
Trust in the Lord.
7 years?
7 years. And I said I'm going to fight until I reach the top. If when I reach the top and I lose, I feel much better. But I'm not giving up. Let's face it, there are only so many beaches in this world. Even fewer unspoiled beaches. And even fewer beaches like this. I mean, that's one of the things that's nice about this area is it's not a big resort area like some of the other parts. And the food is amazing.
Right. Yeah, we do cook nice food.
You can't get this at the hotel.
They get it, but not like this.
Not so fresh.
Right. Really, really, really tasty. I'm gonna have to come back here like tomorrow.
Whenever people come here and they have problem, they go to the sea and they look over there in the ocean, and when they're finished, they never have a problem again. It's go right in the water and down. This is our medicine here. And I hope that the world can see what is going on at Winnifred Beach, and that they can come out and enjoy the beauty of the beach, the nature of the beach, the people, and the love of the beach.
Next day, and I know where I'm going.
Run a mongoose, mongoose your name gone abroad.
Because you never know. Because it may not be here that much longer. Not like this, anyway.
Your name.
Sun, sand, rum, and ting. And some more food.
Put it in him left foot pocket, run a mongoose.
Oh, yeah. Hi. Wow, what a spread. I'm not going hungry today. Beautiful. Thank you. I'm so excited. That is actually quite delicious. You're not missing out on starches. I mean, you get yam, plantain, breadfruit, rice, peas, corn, carrots, dumpling, festival. Like the man said, eat dessert first. Life is uncertain. That's good. I knew I was coming back here. I knew it was a smart move to come back here. These ladies can cook. Point being, the way the world turns, the inevitable grind of history seems to indicate that places like this and people like this get plowed under, pushed aside, paved over. Who owns paradise after all? Who in the end gets to own paradise, use paradise, or even visit it? That's a question that's probably worth paying attention to before there's none left at all. How do you do this and be a good person? I don't think you can. Like, if you wanted to do this regularly for the rest of your life, I would like to spend 3 months out of the year in a hammock looking out at the Caribbean in a secluded beach like this. You'd have to do bad things to do this, right? James Bond doesn't get this. James Bond's a hustler. He gets this for a couple of days before he moves on to the next location. The guy who lives here is the Bond villain, not James Bond. Ian Fleming was much closer to like Blofeld or Hugo Drax. You know, those guys had lots of leisure time, sitting around in hammocks figuring out how to take over the world. A lot of downtime in world domination. Bond was a working class. That's what I've been missing. All right, go wide. Summon the robot piranhas. Where's my cocktail?